Good afternoon, Brianna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Good. So, everyone, Brianna is my middle child, my baby girl, and we are interviewing her today so that, of course, as I always say, so the world can get to know who you are. So, you are in school for something that a lot of people um, may think about but not dive into. Tell us what you are going to school for.
So I am in school for nursing, and it's not just any type of nursing. It's not like emergency nursing, but I like orthopedics and exercise science nursing. So
Very nice. So, what is your goal with this nursing degree?
my goal is to, of course, get my BSN in nursing, and from there, I would like to continue on into sports medicine. I would eventually, of course, love to train athletes. I always tell people I'm going to train LeBron James one day, or either I'm going to train his son one day, but it's going to happen.
I think that's pretty cool. That's really inspiring. And the thing is that this is something that you came up with on your own. So, before you even, so when will you be graduating?
I graduate this summer, um, and then I will continue my schooling for another 16 months after that.
Very nice. I'm very proud of you and elated for your graduation. So, before you even got into school, you started doing these workouts and you would record yourself and then share them with other people. What made you get into the workouts? And then how did you start training other people?
So I've always loved to play sports, and so I played basketball in high school, and I also was on the marching band dance team. So with that, we always had to work out prior to doing any um, activity at all. So for me, it was just something that like I enjoyed doing. Um, and so working out has just been something that it's an overall me thing. Like it makes me happy. It's my time to be Brianna. And so I started making videos a little bit after I had my daughter. um, I wanted to make sure that I was also including the time with her because that's a lot of the reason that a lot of people don't have time or they use time as an excuse. So I started working out with my baby girl after my 6 weeks, 8 weeks visits were up, and they said that, yeah, you can work out. And so I just used that time to work out with her. Um, I got a lot of good feedback on it. Everybody wanted to see workouts with the mommy and me. And then I got a lot of feedback on what can I do personally? I don't have kids, but what can I do? So I started recording my workouts.
I think that's pretty cool because, so of course, the workouts were inspiring and it went into the time to where we were dealing with COVID, and honestly, a lot of us were not moving. So it was inspiring to see you do it. And then it was even cuter to see Evie in the videos rolling around trying to do the workouts. And then the yoga was too cute trying to do the stretches. So, do you have any plans to do like videos that incorporate both of the girls for parents or something that will help parents see you can still work out with children and get it done, but then give them something to do afterwards, give them a snack, and they could take a nap.
Yeah, for sure. So, um, not necessarily the workout to do with them, but when I am doing like home workouts, like just straight body workout, no equipment, the girls will come join me. And normally, of course, as a mom, you're just like, no, this is my time. But no, you can join me because I want to encourage them to also have that passion to move your body. So when I do my workouts, you'll see like the girls will come in and they'll do like, a little bit of the workout and then they'll be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm tired." And then they'll move on to the next thing. But I always want to encourage the girls to join me. I don't mind them coming in. For a lot of it, I'll dance with them because I'll turn my watch on, my Apple Watch, and we'll turn on some music and we'll dance. It's not necessarily like having to do like a hit workout or going to the track and running, but just encouraging movement for 15, 10 minutes if we can, especially because a child's their mindset is like, okay, well, we want to do the next thing. So just to keep going and keep myself busy and moving all day with them, um, dance. I encourage everybody to dance with your kids. There's so many cute little YouTube videos that'll have you just like, oh, we're gonna touch our toes today. We're gonna do 10 jumping jacks or dodge, pretend you're dodging something. So that's kind of what I like to incorporate with them.
I think that's really cool. It's encouraging too. And it's really good that you bring the babies into it instead of push them away. Because when you do that, then they feel welcome. And like you said, after a couple of minutes, they're over it anyway. So then you can have your own little time. So that's really nice. So I like the fact that you have the sports medicine education, and then you have the mommy and me workouts. It says a lot about you and what you do. So I know that right now you are in the medical field. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there? Or is that?
Mm.
Because I think it's good that you jumped into the medical field before um, finishing school. That way you can kind of see the atmosphere a little bit.
Yeah, and where I work, um,
And you
it's
don't have to say the name because I never say where I work.
yeah, I won't, no. But like where I work, it doesn't just deal with um one aspect of the body. Where I work, if you come in, you can like you're seen for everything. But it's not I mean, like I don't work at the hospital. So when I got into the job that I work at right now, I just knew that that was going to be my foot in the door. You always have to have your foot in the door somewhere, regardless if you start all the way at the bottom. And so I made sure that I got in there. Um, when I thought I was going to be starting at the bottom, I was put on to do the straight work of like seeing patients and the clinical aspect and getting that training um, that I'm getting in school, but I'm also getting it before I even take that class in school. So I think that's really cool and interesting. Plus, I can really see if this is something I want to do. And every day that I go into work, I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm actually interested in what I'm seeing. Like I'm so interested in being able to have been trained to do x-rays and be trained to um, do vitals and be trained to um, do a splint or just help others before because I know that in the latter part of my schooling that's what I'm going to be learning in clinicals and I'm already doing a lot of what I'm doing going to be learning in clinicals. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, that's amazing to get paid for learning, basically. And it puts you in a better position. So once you go ahead and finish school, you're already doing the job. And so you can just go wherever or advance wherever you are. So have you thought about, I know you said that you would like to work with professional athletes. Have
Mhm.
you ever thought about building your own business off of that? Or would you like to work with a certain team?
Um, I always, I always think about expanding and wanting to like eventually have my own um, company or brand. Right now, I am really just focusing on what's in front of me, uh,
Mhm.
as far as just handling the um, working with this other company. Um, but eventually, when I work with my athletes, oh, that's gonna be all me. It's gonna be my name, my brand. Um, because with companies, you kind of have to go in their guidelines. But for me, I know that I have so much to give and that I want to give. And there's boundaries with companies that you can't overstep and you can't do this or that. So I definitely want to be able to put myself out there for my clients when I do start bringing them in.
I love that. It's so funny when when I watch you guys and watch the babies, I always see a little bit of me, but it's so funny hearing you say certain things, it's like, oh my gosh, they got that from me. So I think that's really good that you guys love to give to people. You guys like to make sure that, of course, you're okay, but you also want to make sure the people that you're tending to have exactly what they need. So I really like that. And we do go over and beyond at some points.
Yeah.
So that's majorly cool. So I know that you are you are in school, you're building your brand. What other things or what other goals do you have in place?
Um, so while my work schedule is, 3 days a week. For those of you who don't know, I work 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. Um, However, there are 4 days out of the week that I dedicated to myself working out every single time that I'm off. That's just for myself personally. I've gotten asked a lot about helping others um, try and crush some of their goals, whether it be for nutrition or fitness goals or just, overall like, hey, how do you, I love the way that you do this with your kids. Do you mind if me and my kids, we meet at the park just so that, because I see that you're having fun, your kids look like they're having fun. Um, so I have a small client base, which I'm looking to grow for my fitness and as well as like incorporating that with my kids. And when you have kids, it's so hard to be like, oh, well, I have to find a babysitter for this for me to come work out with you. I was like, oh, I have kids. We'll meet at the park. Um, the park always has like a awning, the kids can we can do a quick 10-minute and then take our kids to the playground.
Mhm.
And so with my client base with fitness, I've been trying to grow that and I'm offering that right now. I have a few clients and they are always so happy and they tell me all the time like it's good to have this mom bonding because you don't get that a lot. It's always like you go to your personal trainer and sometimes you can build a friendship, but you can't incorporate your actual life within that um, base. And so I try to give that to everybody. Um, and then if you don't have kids, I give what I can as Bre'Onna and not mommy and me, Bre'Onna.
That's good that that is very balanced, and you don't mind working with people that don't have children. Um, so how do you balance everything because you have so much going on?
I'm a very organized person. I can't, I don't work well. Like I can't work well with clutter. I write everything down. In the beginning of the month, I budget everything. I put everything in a calendar. If I showed you my calendar, you'd be like, what? Everything is written down, just to make sure that like I don't put too much on myself or give myself too much. Um, because sometimes when you're giving to others, you become empty and nobody's filling you back up. So you have to make sure that everything that you have set for that day is what you do in that day. And you can only do what you can do in one period of time. So for me, I just I write everything out a month in advance. And if something pops up on me within that same day, if I can't do it, I'm definitely going to say no. I'm not a yes girl. I say no if I can't handle it. Some people don't like it, but for myself, for my health, for my family, my life, I say no if I can't take it on.
Yeah, I'm with you with the calendaring. And I am in complete agreement that if we want to do something and you don't want to do it that weekend, then you're going to say no. So yeah, we see that a lot. And I understand the balance. I understand needing to take time for yourself because sometimes it gets hard, especially with young girls. And even though you're able to incorporate everything together, you still have to find some way to take some bit of time for yourself or you're going to crash. So I completely get that. So how can people locate you? So do you have Instagram, or where do your clients find you, or how can they find you?
So I do have a fitness page. It's Bre'Onna Da'Jane. Um, I love that name. It just kind of flows together.
I think I gave it to you.
My bad. This is true. You go, lady. But Bre'Onna Da'Jane is my fitness page. I, and that is the only page where people can find me on, um, because everything else I leave private, um, outside. I share what I would like to share.
As you should, especially with the family. On that page, so they can DM you, or is there an email address attached to it?
They can DM me. Um, I can put in an email address. I do have one, for my fitness information. So
Okay.
I can provide that. I never actually thought about that, so that's a good point to include on my page. But DMing me and I'll put in that email address.
Okay. And so what I want to do is, if you don't mind, go back to the beginning. So we spoke a little bit about sports medicine, but a lot of people may not really understand what sports medicine is. Can you? So say we have a client. Okay, let's use man as an example. Well, not let's not use man because we don't want anything else. So let's use somebody that's in that's an athlete, and something happens to their Achilles heel. Is that what it is? Achilles. Okay. So so I'm not about. I do legal. I don't know.
Okay. So here's um a common injury in sports. A lot of people have knee injuries.
Hmm.
So they'd say a patella injury. A lot of people have a fibula or a small tear in the tibia. So
Mine
something,
were broke in both.
yeah, that's a very common injury in sports, basketball, football, soccer, things of that nature. So,
Mhm.
for me, I would just train you back to um, how to properly heal after a sports injury because with athletic mindset, if you're not moving, you're falling behind. And so they want to jump back into it without being healed properly. And I want to be able to make sure that I'm out there watching. I want to be at the games. I want to make sure they're watching. Um, Making sure that if somebody gets down, we need to get to them in time, not letting him sit. We need to check them, um, and then move on with the steps if we need to do anything further.
Mhm.
So with sports medicine, it's just a lot of physical fitness, making sure that when they're exercising and training for these sports, we're doing it in a proper way. Because a lot of people, they'll just be like, oh, I'm just going to go squat this. But what is your focus? What are you doing? How is this going to hinder or better you at what you're doing out there on the field or the court, anything like that?
Mhm. So it sounds like you work really closely with those patients. So would you also go into their home, or is this mainly done like on the field or in the office? How do you work with them?
That's both. Um, you can Some people, they prefer, they're more comfortable in their homes,
Mhm.
especially like a lot of the athletes. I'm sure, like I've seen for myself, my own research, that they would prefer to be at their house um, training because a lot of them already have their own gyms and their own equipment and things of that nature. But then there are also, um, so to speak, if I build a business, I would want to have my own building because then there's not just the athletes who need help, but then there are upcoming athletes, students,
Mhm.
those who just like to have recreational play who also need that help. And
Mhm.
I'm not just gonna. Um, my goal is to train the athletes, but I want to be open to the public, everybody who needs help.
I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I see you, MD. I I think that's really amazing. To be able to help somebody because I've been in that situation to where crushed pelvis, leg broken in four parts, bone popped out of the leg, and I had someone nurture me back to health. And so I know that it can be done after being told you'll never walk again or you'll never have children. So to have someone like you that says, I want to be that individual that helps you get to the past that you can never. I
Right.
think that's pretty amazing because it's not a lot of people that do that. There are a lot of people that want the money, but they're not doing the job. And so you'll see a lot of people with these medical issues that they could have overcome them had they had the training or had they had the help.
Yep. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
And a lot of people lack that. Like you said, they look for the financial aspect, but then it takes a very special person, there are some very special people who actually care about the well-being of others.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's amazing. Something else that you mentioned. So your hat is your, and I'm going to come back to something else because I want to touch on something else. But your hat is your signature. So yeah, for the most part, even when you wore dress clothes, then you would always like steal my hat. But what made you start liking hats? What made you have that as your signature?
So I it's just it's earrings for me. A lot of people say, "Oh, you look different. You look so different when you wear earrings." Me, I definitely look different when I wear hats. Um, it's my jewelry, like, it's my go-to. Like, I have an entire hat wall. I collect hats, and then when I go to the gym, like, I always have a hat on. If I don't have a hat on, probably because I couldn't find it or get to it or didn't pack it in my bag, but it's definitely just my signature. I feel much, much more confident in a hat. Why? It's just me.
So what about covering up all the hair so people can see your puffs? But what about covering up all the hair? You don't like to share your hair?
Um, so I have a lot of hair. I have a lot of hair, and sometimes, like, I'll pull it back, like, I'm still look, you see what I'm saying with the hat though? You see what it does? It definitely and it gives me, like, this personality, like, you read the hat, you know what I'm saying? It makes my personality jump when I have my hat on. My hair? Oh, yeah, like, I mean, like, I love my hair, don't get me wrong. I just Imma put it up. I don't know if I'm not wearing a hat, my hair's in a bun. Everybody's like, "Wear your hair out." My hair does not like water, um, or humidity. Like, I couldn't straighten it and it would just stay like a lot of people's hair. I can't get perms because it makes my hair fall out. So it's either just curly or in a bun, and I'm looking to try different natural styles, but my sister is the hair person, not me.
Yeah. She's always trying something different. I thought it was cute that within a couple of days she popped up with a new hairstyle to wear to the memorial. So yeah.
Me, I'm just like, "Oh, we're putting a ponytail in this thing today."
Trust me, I understand. I wore a ponytail for like 30 years and then finally I was like, you know what? Let's see what this stuff does. But I honestly, since I've been wearing my hair like this, I have to, and it's still, it does what it wants to, but I have to straighten it. So I get you. I'm trying to decide what now. What am I going to do? Because I have to take this stuff
Right.
and do something different. And then, oh yeah, we can get into a whole all the grades and all the stuff like that. But
It's cute. I mean,
girl,
either
that's because you look like me. You just saying that. That's what I'm saying.
this is
So yes. So you so with your husband, Jamin, he records games. Football players. Do you feel like you're getting any experience with him being out there with the players? Are you able to see injuries and see them from start to finish being healed since he's been going out there and filming?
yes, even more so with the fact that he played semi-pro football up until his injury. Um, and when we go out there, to be honest, I'm grateful when someone does not get hurt because once you've been through it and you've, you know, had that athlete and like, you don't want to see nobody get hurt because when someone's passionate about something and then now they can't do it right now, it sucks. So, but I have seen um I've seen him film the football games a lot. That's mostly what he does is football games. And then um he'll take pictures for proms and baseball. He does baseball, he does soccer, he really works well with high schools and then semi-pro teams. But when we're out there, time like time and time again, people are getting hurt. They get hurt. Do I get to run on the field? No, because they already have somebody for that. But from the way that they react on the field, I can already tell in some shape, way, or form what has happened or what happened out there. Because 9 times out of 10, it's definitely a lower body injury.
Mm. And I remember, well, Jamin is always getting hurt, but and it's not funny that he's always getting
He's
hurt, but
the
it's
line, you know.
but and there was a point where I was like, if he doesn't sit down somewhere and stop breaking bones. So with his there was something going on with his leg.
Mhm.
So with stuff like that, do you look at stuff like that and try to analyze it and figure out, okay, this is how much time it's going to take for this to heal. This is what you should be doing. Or do you just watch the process? So me, I like to get up in there like, all right, so this is your case. So, because for the most part, like masters in information technology, I know this amount of technology and this amount of criminal justice. I can get up in your case. I know what's going on and I will tell you how to win. So there are some cases, ooh, tough. We have something coming up on that this week. Um, so how do you handle it? Are you kind of like a standby, or are you I'm about to tell you how to fix the situation?
I'm in the middle. I gauge the situation before I attack it, because first I have to see I had to figure out how his overall feelings and his overall wellness with his injury how much it affected him as a person. Um, I didn't want to upset him before I could help him. So once I realized, like, oh, well, he doesn't know exactly what to do, and I have some ideas, I kind of threw them out there, like, oh, look, I have these bands. And so I think it was like maybe almost coming up on a year after his injury. And he's like, yeah, this leg is weaker than this one. Um, and I was like, oh, well, I have these bands. And, these bands, like if you just do this a few times, you might feel it. He, it takes him a minute only because he is my husband and he's not always going to be like jumping on board with everything. It takes him a minute to experience it alone and to be like, you know I did that and I could really feel it in my leg. I really felt the difference in strengthening. And I'm like, yeah. Um, and also like sometimes like even a couple weeks ago, I was just like looking at him because I need to check up on you. Like I was like, why are you limping? I noticed you were limping. Can you sit down? Let me look at you real quick. And I noticed his leg, his ankle, because it was an ankle injury. His ankle was a little swollen. And I was like, did you realize that your ankle was swollen? He was like, no. And I was like, he was trying to like gauge and see like how swollen it was from the non-injured ankle from this one. And I'm like, boy, I'm telling you, you're swollen. This is what we need to do. I was like, do you have your bandage? You need to make sure you're still wrapping up your leg. You need to make sure you're stretching your foot. You need to make sure you're doing this and that. And he was just like, oh, okay. But you can't just jump into and be like, hey, do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you that I care about you and I'm looking at you and you might see something that, yeah, you might not see something that I see.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to gradually point you into that direction. I'm going to always treat everybody like that because a lot of people get sidetracked. Like, you don't know me. You don't know my pain level. You don't know and I'm just like, you're right. Tell me what you're feeling so that I can help you. And then I'll tell you also what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good that you gauge each individual differently so that they understand that where you're coming from, and then they can allow you in a little bit. That's pretty cool. I think probably at your age I was different, like, you know why your car keeps breaking down? Because you keep shopping at this place. instead of asking, well, what do you think the problem is? I was completely different. I was going to tell you. So through through change and understanding individuals, I completely get that and I respect it. And it allows you to show people that you're respecting their boundaries as well.
Yeah. I'm really good with my words, so one way or another, you're gonna do what I want.
And you're going to know your pain level is a 5. Put this ice on your ankles. Sit down.
I'm gonna be so sweet about it, though. I'm gonna be so sweet about it. Genuinely. You're gonna be like, oh my God, you're so sweet. I love you. And in my head, I'm just like, yep. Don't worry.
We're going to get this ankle together. Now stop jumping on that bouncy. So I wanted to also mention, when you and Jamin first got together, if I recall correctly, he was taking you to go work out. You didn't need to work out at all, but it was like he was showing you how to work out. So how did it change that you started being the trainer? Because I think it was his brother too, right? Because he was like a trainer or something.
Yeah. Okay, so he's gonna see this. So let me point this out. We do it together.
Mm-hmm.
It is a together thing. I will tell him though, like, oh, do this. And he'll be like, all right, I'll try it. So it's definitely a together thing. But in the beginning, he did take me to the gym. I was a size 0. I was a size 0 up until I had my first child. So that's when it all changed for me. My purpose for working out was no longer just to go and be next to this guy and just, oh, we're hanging out, so I'm just going to the gym to be with you. I actually had a purpose to go to the gym and work out after that, after having my child. So, and then his brother as well is a personal trainer, and he is a strength and conditioning coach for a team, a football team. So yeah, we actually have like had sessions where we've all worked out together. And I mean, like, it is the greatest feeling because you just got these dudes walking around like this, and you're just like this. And you're like, oh, this is so cool. It's like having like the whole like motion, like everybody has the same mindset. We're getting in for gains. And this was just only after having the baby, because before, like I said, it was just like, oh, he's going to the gym. I don't really know how to use this equipment. This is just fun. Mm-hmm. But has to be an internal reason afterwards. So that became my internal reason for making sure that I was healthy.
That's really good. Yeah, and like I was saying, you did inspire me. I think that I'm trying to see. I don't remember. I think when I started going to the gym was because I started sending men to Lifetime. And it was more so Lifetime is a spa.
Right.
Eventually you just start working out because that's what they do there. Aside from getting in the sauna. Yeah, so it's inspiring to see that you're young and you want to work out because it's healthy, and then you're passing that down to the babies because they're able to see, like, even through what you feed them. And that's important for your people too. What you feed the girls, even though in the beginning, like, I would be like, I'm sorry, they're eating what? Yes, we're just having a bowl of strawberries. Excuse me. Yeah, a bowl of strawberries is good, but I was thinking, when you're at my house, you get wings. So where are the wings? So the way that And I think the younger generation is able to come in and do things a little bit different. You guys have, I would say, you have a lot more knowledge when it comes to the health field, when it comes to how to implement that workout and how important it is. So I think that's really good. And what you're going to school for really encompasses who you are. So I'm so excited for you. I can't wait till you graduate and actually get into your field. I can see you out there doing your little thing. Well, not your little thing, but doing your thing.
That big energy, my big thing.
Your big thing. Exactly, exactly. And then it's something important for the girls to be able to see. My mom did this, I can do this, or I can do whatever. Because I love the fact that none of my children are doing the exact same thing, but you're all doing something that works for you. So, very proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any last thoughts that you want to share or something inspiring that you think? So when I think about the mentees that are trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives or what paths they should take to get to where they need to be, or maybe they're fighting some situation. A lot of people are you know, you guys, it's different for you. It was very different. So people that may not know about different areas of work, but they are grasping to find what fits them, what would you tell them? Or,
I made a list.
oh,
I made a list.
oh, you were prepared.
No, I made a list beforehand.
Okay.
My reasoning for nursing was not the reason I have now. My reason for nursing is because it ran in my family. And everybody that, I was around was doing some sort of like something in the medical field. My grandma, my aunts. The only person who didn't ended up, it was you who are IT, and then my other auntie, she's IT as well. And I'm just like, everybody else was nursing. So I was just like, oh, I'm going after the nursing. It's either nursing or IT, because that's kind of what people think. Everybody pushes them, be a doctor, be a teacher, be this. Nobody actually sits down and thinks about it, meditates on what do I like.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, with the younger generation, a lot of people are like, I like makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do makeup. And then when you go into makeup, you can then figure out, hey, there's a tree that makeup might just be eyelashes or this or that. And the same with me for nursing. I want to help people. So going into nursing opens up branches of different aspects of things that I can do. And when I incorporate the fact that I love fitness and I love working out, when I incorporate that with my passion for nursing and helping others, it got me to where I'm at now. So you really have to think about what you like and stop worrying about what everybody else wants you to do. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be stuck in a career and you're like, oh, I only did this because at the time they told me this, or they told me that, that career is not really what's it right now. But you have no idea where it'll lead you if you really think about what you want. So I think that for a lot of people, they should just stop being overwhelmed with everybody else feels about you. Find your voice, not the next person. Find what makes you happy and go for it. Here.
I think that's great. That's beautiful. And it's exactly what now I would say. Maybe years ago, I was probably like, no, you need to go to school too. But that's perfect. So Bre'Onna will give me her Instagram. Well, I already have it. So I'll share her Instagram and then she will add her email address. And then you all can contact her if you want to do the mommy workouts. Are you available to do some on Zoom if people want to do them on Zoom?
Yes, I do have a, Zoom schedule where you can be within a group of 2 to 3 other people, or it could just be one on one. But yes, I offer Zoom and in person.
Perfect. So we will get that Zoom schedule. It will be in the description and the times and then the account information so that you guys can go ahead and log on. And remember that exercising is not just good for your physical health, but it's also good for your mental health. So thank you so much for watching us today. We hope that you received some good information from it. And remember, whatever your dreams are, make sure that you achieve them for yourself because, like Bre'Onna said, you're going to be stuck in that career, not us. So have a great day. Thank you so much.